just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a artist, and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself.
Aaron Carter's shocking demise just took an astounding turn. And think about who's at the center of attention. In all honesty, Diddy himself.
Aaron Carter begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not suicidal. And no one said anything.
Turns out there are some stunning mysteries about Diddy and his association with Aaron Carter's last days. And presently, Diddy's attorney has formally tapped out, fanning the fire murmurs are whirling. Might the music tycoon at some point conceal something immense? The buzz around Aaron Carter's puzzling demise is getting stronger, with stunning reports proposing it very well may be attached to Diddy word, as the federal authorities are digging further into Aaron's passing and his connections to Diddy. And they're in any event wanting to refresh Diddy's prosecution with additional charges. What's much more stunning, specialists are supposedly investigating other dubious passings connected to Diddy, including Aaron, who unfortunately kicked the bucket on November 5th, 2022, simply a day after Diddy's birthday. A similar reason for death connected to Kim Dorman, Whitney Houston, the close to death of Jamie Foxx and I'll be certain. And think about what every one of them are attached to Diddy when you take a gander at the developing rundown of claims and the mounting arraignment against him. These cases don't appear so fantastical any longer. What's considerably more chilling, the vast majority of these individuals were either standing in opposition to Diddy or intending to uncover him just before misfortune struck. The scary timing causes a stir. Doesn't it pause for a minute to consider it? Kim Watchman's unexpected passing, Whitney Houston's stunning passing, and the well-being panics, including Jamie Foxx and Alb Shorar, disrupting similitudes. Is it a dull happenstance? Or is there something more evil happening here currently? We're plunging profound into how each of this binds back to Diddy, the claims encompassing him, and what these strange passings could uncover. We should begin with Aaron Carter. His authority reason for death was governed as suffocating, yet hypothesis has twirled that he might have been gone too far prior to being found in the bath. Sound natural? That is highly like Whitney Houston's sad end. She also was found suffocated in a bath with unlawful substances, assuming a critical part in her passing. So, how does this interface Diddy to Whitney? Here's where things get significantly hazier. Before did he rose to the degree of big shot he is today. He had a tutor. As a matter of fact, Clive Davis, an unbelievable figure in the music business, has his own upsetting tales, including claims of unseemly way of behaving, including young men. As per Puma Wright, a blunt industry informant, Diddy and even Jay-Z might have advanced a portion of these upsetting practices straightforwardly. From Clive Davis himself, Wright has transparently blamed the two people for being important for a vile pattern of control in the business, pointing fingers at Clive as the beginning.
People. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Well.
Tell us how
who was
he
mentored by Clive Davis.
Whitney Houston was unfortunately found dead in her bath at the Beverly Hilton lodging, the very place where Clive Davis was planning for his famous Preg Grammy party. Amazingly, Clive chose to go on with the occasion, even as fresh insight about Whitney's demise spread, passing on numerous to scrutinize. The absence of responsiveness in the meantime, Diddy, who was additionally in party mode that evening, purportedly wound up hospitalized for a serious headache subsequent to facilitating a post-Grammy slam at the Playboy Chateau. As per Yagar Wright, Diddy's fleeting ascent with Terrible Kid Records wasn't just about ability or difficult work. She guarantees it was about favors for Clive Davis. Panther has frequently addressed how somebody like Diddy could go from being an understudy at Uptown Records to unexpectedly turning into the stalwart behind the Awful Kid domain. Her hypothesis: Clive supposedly assumed a key part in Diddy's ascent, maybe assisting him with moving through open doors that could never have in any case been accessible. Puma likewise returns to a lamentable occasion in 1991 during a foundation ballgame coordinated by Diddy at City School. A rush broke out, bringing about the passings of 9 youngsters, including a pregnant lady who was the sweetheart of rapper Father MC, one of Uptown Records' specialists. While Did has rejected obligation report, recommends the occasion was overbooked and needed legitimate security regardless of alerts. What is happening could turn risky, pundits have brought up to Clive as possibly assisting Diddy with getting away from responsibility for the occurrence, leaving unanswered inquiries that actually torment the misfortune. Adding to the interest are murmurs regarding the connection between Clive Davis and Diddy. As per a mysterious source, Clive purportedly assisted Diddy with laying out Terrible Kid Records in return for supplanting Andre Harrell as Clive's number one. A specific talk asserts that a vital second in 1994, including Diddy purportedly getting kneeling down for Clive, got it done for Terrible Kid achievement. Strangely, Clive Davis freely emerged as bi in 2013. A disclosure that additional one more layer important to his generally investigated individual life. Recently wedded 2 times with 4 kids, Clive's exclusive issues have frequently stood out as truly newsworthy. Correspondingly, Diddy has now been marked as bi in the light of charges uncovered in his prosecution, which claims he had an inclination for young men over ladies. So how did these passings associate? As per Puma Wright, Diddy purportedly figured out how to make substances that emulate regular reasons for death. For example, pneumonia or coronary episode side effects from. As a matter of fact, his guide Clive Davis, Puma estimates that this information might have been utilized to cause dubious passings to seem normal, permitting them to slip by everyone's notice or unchallenged. And here's where Kim Dorman's grievous story entered the image. As per Panther Wright, Diddy's ex, Kim Watchman, could have met her less than ideal end for comparative reasons, as others attached to him. It's no stretch to consider these charges, particularly since Kim allegedly began chipping away at a detailed account book about her wild connection with Diddy before her demise. The unpublished composition supposedly uncovered occurrences of profound and actual abuse. One especially stunning case from the original copy included Diddy purportedly going after Kim with a seat, prompting an emergency clinic visit. Yet the abuse didn't stop there. Kim supposedly depicted how Diddy checked everything she might do, wiring her home, tapping her telephone, in any event, employing individuals to keep an eye on her things raised. When Diddy looked for full guardianship of their youngsters, Kim, feeling cornered, supposedly taken steps to uncover everything, including Diddy's haziest mysteries. The original copy likewise indicated Diddy's manipulative strategies, compelling Kim into debasing circumstances and controlling her life to the place of profound demolition. Maybe most chillingly, Kim apparently associated Diddy to the disastrous passings of Tupac Shakur and the infamous huge proposing. He organized occasions to keep up with command over their melodic heritages. Authoritatively, Kim's passing in 2018 was credited to pneumonia. Yet questions emerged very quickly. The underlying coroner's report indicated treachery with poisons found in her body that could impersonate pneumonia side effects. Tales twirled about blood on her cushion and a path from her room to the restroom, which laid out an undeniably more vile picture. Significantly more disrupting was the timetable. Kim apparently settled on a 911 decision at 2:43 a.m. In any case, help didn't show up until Kimora Lee Simmons found her hours after the fact, around 11 o'clock. Kim's family has purportedly been dubious from the very outset, apparently talking with the FBI about chasing after an unfair demise claim against Diddy. Sources say examiners have encouraged the family to keep quiet, to try not to think twice about case. Yet the trap of associations doesn't stop there. Hypothesis connects Kim's passing to her relationship with Shakir Stewart, a music chief she was reputed to be associated with before her passing. Supposedly, after Diddy found their relationship, he defied Shakir. And only weeks after the fact, Shakir was found dead from gunfire. Wounds, however, managed a self-destruction. His family questions this, alluding to treachery and conceivable contribution from Diddy. And the rundown doesn't stop there. I'll be certain Kim Watchman's ex additionally confronted a horrific destiny, apparently landing him in a state of insensibility for a considerable length of time. While he hasn't freely uncovered the full degree of what happened, reports surfaced that he was dealing with a detailed storybook, one that evidently nitty-gritty. The obscure oddity off that we're presently beginning to become familiar with his story highly mirrors that of Andre Harrell, another industry figure, who was supposedly composing a comparable detailed account. Andre's composition was said to uncover how compelling figures control the music business, utilizing substances and different strategies to control and quietness individuals. He was likewise supposedly going to uncover how Diddy supplanted him with the assistance of Clive Davis. Yet, before his disclosures could become exposed, Andre was tracked down dead. And there's one more name to add to this bleak rundown: Jamie Foxx. Before we jump into Aaron Carter's track again, we should initially investigate what happened to Jimmy as of late. He became one of the most recent casualties attached to this upsetting example. Very much like every other person on the rundown, Jamie Foxx was additionally exceptionally near Diddy. As a matter of fact, their companionship was tight to such an extent that Diddy reportedly led Jamie in on a portion of his oddity show exercises. Yet things took a turn last year, when Jamie began dropping enigmatic clues about the hazier side of Diddy's scandalous social occasions, which sent shockwaves through those paying attention. Then came Jamie Foxx's Netflix unique What Had Happened, was where he kept on dropping unobtrusive pieces of information about what he had seen and experienced in his communications with Diddy. During a few live recordings of The Extraordinary Observers detailed that Jimmy straightforwardly referenced Diddy's name, alluding to a serious aftermath between the two. Plainly, something had turned out badly, yet the full picture wasn't exactly there. Yet things took a stunning turn when Jamie unexpectedly fell into a state of unconsciousness. This sent shockwaves through the business, and promptly theories started twirling that Diddy could some way or another be associated with Jaws' hospitalization, stoking the shoot. Recently, industry veteran Stifle No Joke, an accomplished videographer, maker, and chief, shared his firsthand record of going to two of James' shows in Atlanta. In a meeting with Parody Publicity Gag, uncovered that during the recordings, Jamie had straightforwardly said Diddy was liable for what befallen him. He even guaranteed that he had contacted the FBI about Diddy's activity. Jamie FRX states, in the end, the exceptional that Diddy was answerable for what befallen him. And he is the one that called the FBI on gag. A seasoned proficient in the satire world made sense of that Jimmy wasn't messed around when he offered these remarks. And as per him, Jaime's words, "We're a long way from a zinger." There was genuine concern and a serious message concealed inside them. Gag No Joke went considerably further, implying that Jamie Foxx could have been truly frightened of Diddy, which could make sense of why he apparently contacted the FBI. Gag brought up that Jaime's drawn-out non-attendance from the public eye happened just before Diddy's capture in September, a detail that has raised much more doubt. Yet stand by, there's more in a stunning disclosure. Another Observer VIP safety officer, enormous Homeboy CC, took things considerably further. During Jim's shows, Large Home Slice guaranteed that Jimmy straightforwardly blamed Diddy for harming him. As per Huge Home Slice, Jimmy even made a stride of revealing Diddy to the FBI over these doubts. This allegation built up some decent momentum when Large Home Slice discussed it in a meeting with Kim Capone News, grabbing the eye of news sources like Page 6, who connected for more data.
What are some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
We're talking about when, what was it, a year or two ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke.
Yes.
We're talking about that, or talking about something different?
I'm talking about that.
Very much like Gag No Joke, Enormous Home Slice took his cases considerably further, uncovering that he got his data firsthand by going to 2 of Jamie Foxx's Netflix show recordings with a client, as per Huge Home Slice. The climate during these recordings was tense, with Jamie obviously not keeping down on how he had an outlook on Diddy. This lines up with developing bits of gossip that Jamie had been dropping enigmatic clues about his issues with Diddy for quite a while. What makes Enormous Home Slice's records considerably more critical is the way that it reverberations what Gag No Joke said Jamie definitely disapproved of Diddy, and his remarks about him weren't important for the typical parody routine. With 2 separate observers presently affirming that Jimmy transparently referred to Diddy in a serious setting, it brings up the issue: might these bits of hearsay about Diddy's dim impact on the existences of people around him at some point really hold a reality? And that acquires us to Aaron Carter. The weeks paving the way to his passing, Aaron made frantic web-based requests, requesting $100,000 to move someplace safe. He guaranteed everyone around him were keeping him secluded and associated with a hazardous plot. Similarly, as it appeared, Aaron may be turning a corner. Misfortune struck on November 5th, 2022, when he was found lethargic in his home. For the people who probably won't know, Aaron Carter was a high schooler sensation during the 2000s, known as the younger sibling of Backstreet Young Men, Scratch Carter. Yet, after his ascent to distinction, life took a dull turn for Aaron as he fought psychological wellness issues and substance abuse. Many say these battles were established in horrible mishaps from his initial vocation. Now, old photographs of a youthful Aaron spending time with Diddy are re-emerging, and they're bringing up a few difficult issues. In a chilling reflection, Aaron once admitted this, has fans pondering, might Aaron at any point have been one of Diddy's most youthful casualties? Yet, that is not all. In the months paving the way to his demise, Aaron was blunt, guaranteeing he realized stunning mysteries about strong figures in the diversion world. He shared obscure post-internet alluding to reality he conveyed, and only days before he was found inert in a bath, Aaron contacted Kanye West, requesting a discussion. Yet, here's where things take a significantly more out-of-control turn. Kanye West later dropped Stunner, asserting Aaron Carter was taken out by Harley Pack. His previous fitness coach, Postic, is reputed to have connections to MKUltra, and is said to go about as a big-name overseer, as per Kanye. Postic even compromised him, saying he'd have Kanye organization shonalized, and asserted that he could coordinate circumstances like Aaron's sad passing, while his battles with dependence and emotional well-being were notable. The peculiar conditions encompassing his passing have driven numerous to conjecture about a hazier, more complicated story. The underlying police report demonstrated that Aon's servant tracked down him inert in the bath, yet it was only after 5 months after the fact that the La Province clinical analyst managed his demise as coincidental, referring to suffocating because of drug and breathed in compacted gas. Anyway, fans had 1 or 2 misgivings of the authority account. Only days before his passing, Aaron had posting upsetting recordings where he communicated dread for his life, guaranteeing he felt dangerous in his own home. Adding to the secret were reports from Aaron's neighbors Anthony and Amanda Shavel, both prepared clinical experts. They heard Aaron's emergency call through a police scanner and raced to his home, worried for his security anyway. When they showed up, they experienced a disrupting circumstance. Amanda, an enlisted nurturer, endeavored to help with her defibrillator back, yet the house sitter purportedly locked the entryway and took off. This surprising conduct just extended the feeling that something was amiss. What is happening encompassing Aaron Carter's passing keeps on getting more peculiar and more dubious as more details surface. The way that the house sitter supposedly attempted to keep the police from going into the house is one of the most chilling parts of the case. On the off chance that Aaron was in trouble, it brings up the issue: how could somebody attempt to impede policing helping him? Might this at some point have kept police from potentially saving him in time? That by itself cast a long shadow over the situation that transpired that day, yet it doesn't end there. Another upsetting hypothesis rotates around Aaron's ex-life partner, Melanie Martin. Their relationship had proactively been rough, and it appears to be. Aaron's doubts about Melanie filled a long time before his passing report recommend that she had been in correspondence with Aaron's family about putting him under a conservatorship, something that set off profound displeasure and question in Aaron. He had eagerly gone against the thought, feeling like he was being controlled, and controlled. The strain between them arrived at a limit when Melanie was captured for purportedly abusing Aaron. In a video on YouTube, Aaron straightforwardly discussed the abuse he encountered, guaranteeing that Melanie had genuinely gone after him.